After getting traded to the Raptors in the Kyle Lowry sign and trade, Precious Achiuwa was a little bit underwhelming to start the season, but since the All-Star break has been absolutely fantastic and pivotal for the Toronto Raptors. So in today's video, I'm going to let you know why you should not be surprised about this recent run of games. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Jacob back with Amateur Hour Sports for another Toronto Raptors YouTube video. We do at least 3 or 4 of these every single week. So to keep up to date with all those great Raptors videos, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Help us on the road to 9,000 subscribers. And if you find yourself enjoying the video at any point, make sure to drop a like. It would really help me out with this one. But let's talk about Precious Achiuwa. That is what this video is going to be all about, because recently Precious Achiuwa has been phenomenal for the Toronto Raptors. It looks like he is a completely different player to what we saw earlier on in the season. And based on this recent run of games where he has been playing exceptionally well, he was rewarded with a starting role against the Denver Nuggets, and I expect him to maintain that starting role for the foreseeable future. From the start of the season, Precious Achiuwa was the starting center for this team, but it kind of turned into him being the backup center because he just wasn't playing that well, and it seemed like he was a lot more comfortable coming off the bench. So we decided to give him the spot where he was a little bit more comfortable, and he started a bunch of games because Khem Birch has been injured. He's been in and out of the starting lineup, but it seemed to be like when Khem Birch was healthy, Precious Achiuwa was the backup center. But as it seemed like Khem Birch was kind of fading in his performances from the start of the season, Precious Achiuwa has gotten better and better over the course of the entire season, and he is at his absolute best right now. Ever since the All-Star break, where he was named a Rising Star, played in the Rising Stars games, this is when Precious Achiuwa has been at his absolute best. And I really want to attribute the correlation between playing in the Rising Stars game and all those festivities to this recent run of games, because surely the recognition from peers, recognition from media that you are good enough to be in the Rising Stars game has to give players some confidence, and it is certainly doing that for Achiuwa. Maybe when he first came into the Raptors, we weren't really sure about what he could produce from a shooting standpoint, from a three-point standpoint, but right now, Precious Achiuwa is absolutely dialed in, giving us some fantastic numbers, and was very, very pivotal in that Denver Nuggets victory. But I said in the intro, you shouldn't really be surprised about what Precious Achiuwa is doing right now. And I, for one, am not really surprised. In fact, one of the most viewed videos on this channel is a video where I talk about Precious Achiuwa and what he's going to bring to the Raptors this season. And admittedly, he didn't quite live up to the standards immediately that I set, but I always knew Precious Achiuwa was a very, very capable shooter and a very capable defender. He's showcasing how good he is defensively. He's really starting to find his range from 3. The one thing he's got to improve on really is his touch at the rim, which is really like bottom tier in terms of NBA standards, but I know that is going to improve as his decision making improves. But what he's giving us right now that is great, and it's really helping him with other parts of his game, is the fact that the 3 ball is falling to the degree that it is. Right now, he is shooting exceptionally well from 3. He has made 34 of his 93 pointers for the Raptors this season, and that's good for about 38% from 3, which is really good. His field goal percentage is only about 44, which definitely needs to improve for a player in his position. But the fact that he can unlock that other aspect of his game is telling, and maybe it's a testament to the way the Raptors develop their players. Maybe it's a testament to the Nick Nurse school of shooting, but I'm telling you, that is not the case. The reason people are so surprised right now with Precious Achiuwa shooting the way he's playing is because Miami failed to utilize this player to his potential. When they took him 20th overall in the 2020 NBA entry draft, there were a lot of people looking at him like, he had some talent and some floor spacing ability, but Miami failed to use any of that. The Raptors had Precious Achiuwa high on their draft board. If he had fallen to the 29th overall slot, they would have definitely selected him there. And after a season with Miami, they got their guy in the Kyle Lowry sign and trade. The Raptors made that trade to get Precious Achiuwa, and it meant getting that Goran Dragic contract, but they wanted Precious Achiuwa, and we're starting to really understand why. Miami failed to utilize this guy. Miami just simply did not use this player to his strengths, stumped his development for a season. Really a full year of development, not really wasted, but not fulfilled for Precious Achiuwa, because in his college days, this guy could shoot the 3 for Memphis. He took 43 pointers in college. He took 43 pointers. He hit 13 of them. That's good for about 33%. pretty good by college standards, especially for a power forward slash center, especially for a power forward slash center who's also a decent ball handler and a very good defender. For the Miami Heat last season, pretty much a full season with the Heat, he took one three-point attempt. It really seemed to me like the Miami Heat were just trying to use him as a backup Bam, but he had to play exactly like Bam Adebayo, somebody who was not really going out and shooting the three ball. It didn't really make a lot of sense why they limited what he could do. Maybe they thought that he wasn't good enough to consistently take on three-pointers, but if you're concerned about the development of a player, you have to allow them to take those spot-up threes. Like if he's on a catch and shoot in the corner, you have to let him shoot that. Earlier in the season when he wasn't really hitting as much for the Raptors from distance, I kept saying, if you want him to learn how to hit threes, if you want him to develop a reliable three-point shot, he has to keep taking those open three-pointers, and Nick Nurse is a guy who is always going to encourage that from his players. There are a lot of guys in this team. There are a few guys right now, and over the years, there's been a bunch who just can't really shoot the three. But if they're wide open on the outside for a catch and shoot opportunity, they have to take that. Not only does it disrupt the flow of the offense if they don't, but they have to develop that part of their game. Precious Achiuwa has been doing that all season, and he's really dialing in from three. 34 out of 90 for the Raptors is spectacular for a guy who only took one last year. And it was the Raptors giving him that confidence from day one to be that sort of player. In preseason / summer league, he attempted 14 three-pointers. That is 13 more than a full NBA season with the Miami Heat, who definitely limited what he could do with his development. It is just crazy what can happen to a player if the team that he's playing for, the coaching staff, the front office, everything like that, when they instill their belief and their confidence in the player, it is amazing what they can achieve on the court. And I've been saying, like I said, since the start of the season, that this is a proper player who can shoot the three ball, who can ball handle, who can get to the rim and score. Right now, getting to the rim, he's doing okay at that. He's not finishing very well. And I think a lot of that is his decision making. He gets a little bit out of control when he's dribbling. Achiuwa is better the less he dribbles. If you look at his statistics, his field goal percentages from one dribble to two dribbles, all the way up to 6+. His field goal percentage significantly diminishes the more he dribbles the ball. So smarter plays, quicker decision making, that is what's helping Achiuwa. And now, even when he gets the ball on the outside or a little bit in mid-range, players have to go D up on him a little bit more because they know he's a bit of a threat from the outside now. That's giving him a little more space to go on the inside. I say this to every player, but it is true. The more you add to your game as you perfect certain parts of your game, the easier the other stuff you could do before can become. Pascal Siakam added in the mid-range game, makes players D up on him a little bit more. That's more space for him to go to the inside / to the rim, which he was already good at before. It's now just a little bit easier for him to do. Precious Achiuwa, a little bit easier for him to get to the inside. And I'm noticing right now his decision making is definitely improving, but it still needs work. Sometimes when he's downhill dribbling full court, he gets a little bit out of control, loses the ball, kind of just doesn't know what he's doing. He needs to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit smarter. And I think that's part of the next steps to his development. And for a guy who's hitting the three at such a good clip right now, you can kind of excuse the mishaps at the basket, but those things are going to come. This guy is 22 years old. He's only 22 years old. So the fact that we have him knocking down these threes, I think that's a little bit harder to learn than the interior scoring, which isn't far off from being there. He shot 54% from the field for Miami last year, but a lot of that was because he just wasn't taking any of those three-point shots, which are a lower percentage. So I think the field goal percentage is naturally going to increase over time with the Raptors. I think he's going to get a little bit smarter as he gets on the inside. But the three ball, I'd say it's here, and it always has been here. Miami refused to allow this player to flourish in the way that he could. And I think getting traded to the Raptors was the best thing for Precious Achiuwa's career. Next steps, again, are going to be just being a little bit more reserved, a little bit smarter with the ball in possession. And also, if he can learn some great cuts off ball, like if he can look at what Thaddeus Young does, how he moves off the ball to get himself some good looks on the inside, that is going to significantly help Precious Achiuwa and make him a much more dangerous player. He's got the three ball. He's got the size, the athleticism. He's got the ball handling, kind of has the finishing, just needs to work on it. Already a very, very good defender, whether it be on the inside or outside. Precious Achiuwa is one for the future, and I think that this is a starting center for the Raptors for the foreseeable future. So what have you made of these recent performances from Precious Achiuwa? Are you surprised by his ability to start knocking down threes, or are you not surprised like me? I've always known he had it within him. He's just finally showcasing it. That's it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please drop a like on the video if you did enjoy. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and make sure you're subscribed to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. Help us on a road to 9,000 subscribers. We do 3 to 4 Raptors videos every single week. Stay up to date with those, and make sure to check out our watch parties on Twitch, like the one tonight for the game against the Lakers at twitch.tv/amateursports. I'll see you again next time for another video.